Hit the like. Hit the damn subscribe. Can't wait to be called a hater tonight.
Let's go! This ain't the fuck like this game, he stinks!
Oh shit!
It's gone!
Hi, folks. Bob Mannery here. You're listening to A2D Radio, real sports talk radio for the fans, by the fans, no agenda. These guys are the best in the business. Hashtag it. No notes.
Product placement. Welcome in, everybody. This is Monday Morning Quarterback, only on A2D Radio. Every Monday, we are brought to you by FanUp, and FanUp is the best way to enjoy fantasy sports, daily NFL contests, and more. Win great prizes. Sign up today. Use that promo code A2D for 5,000 bonus points. That's a $50 value. FanUp.app, right on the Apple Store. Go download it. No salary caps. You can compete versus each other. You can send each other, like me and Ryan could bet versus each other. Like, hey, I'll take the over or something. Do you want the under? It's like a point system, but you're winning money. It's phenomenal. You'll love it. All right? You'll love it. It's a good friend of mine. So I'm telling you this as not only a good friend, but somebody that dabbles big time in the app. And I really, really enjoy it. And it is the best way to enjoy fantasy sports. That's FanUp. Go download it right on the Apple Store. Use promo code A2D for 5,000 bonus points. $50 value will last you a while. I'm telling you, last you a long time. That's Ryan Brodo. I'm Tom Arnone. The family out there, welcome in. We got a lot to talk about. The end of the show, member wheel. Spin it for the jerseys. Okay, today we got a Joel Embiid. A little Joel Embiid in store for you. Okay, he's back. Jersey's back. Let's go. Sixers, Phillies talk at the end of the show. We got to get into it with a little bit about the Phillies. And maybe not what the people think, right? Maybe not what the people think, but we'll get into it a little later on in the show. NFL Week 12 breakdown. We'll go through it all. Winners and losers. We do it every Monday. Who do you blame the most? Who gets all the blame? Because there's a lot going out there. There's a lot going out there. And who deserves it? We'll talk about that. We'll give you Eagles Week 12 reactions. We'll go backwards, recap the game for you. I know yesterday on Agree Disagree we do the post game. Today we do a recap, and there's only two of us, so we get even more into the family, right? We're able to focus even more into you and your reactions to it, and ours as well. Our poll question ties in the Eagles. Does it ever? Does it ever? And it's brought to you by Manscaped, and you can get 20% off and free shipping with the code A2D at Manscaped.com. Unlock your confidence. Always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped. But today, Cyber Monday, you can go get everything, the whole store, 25% off everything at Manscaped and free shipping. So go head over there. 25% off today. Also, you go to Philly Drinkers and go to the A2D tab, 20% off all A2D gear today. Everything. Go use some of it. You don't even need discount codes today. Go get over to Manscaped, get over to Philly Drinkers, get yourself some A2D gear. All right? If you don't have it, you better get it. Like breaking beanies for the winter with no notes on the front. Come on. Don't you want to be walking around and people think that you don't got a note? You don't got a note in store for them? Who wouldn't want that in their life? Poll question for tonight. Jalen Hurts deserves the most blame for yesterday's Eagles loss to the Giants. Do you agree or disagree? Let us know. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. That's where we're live. Everywhere you get your podcast, we're there as well. Pound the like right now. Hit the damn subscribe right now. You catch the like. You catch the subscribe, unlike Jalen. You catch that shit. To the poll, I absolutely agree. And anybody out there that doesn't agree, there's an agenda hidden. There's somewhere, some shape or form, you have some sort of agenda. Like they, whatever. You had lunch with them. You got a picture with them. You got like a signed ball in your house. You got a poster above your bed. You have some sort of agenda. Nicky, I love you, Nick. But Nick. There's going to be two words for today. One's going to be the word hater, and I'm sure it gets used a million times. And the other word is anticipation. Throwing guys open. None of that's that at all. But nothing. He doesn't do any of these things. Okay? He's waiting for guys to come open, and then he makes his throws. And the other thing is he's locked in. And if you don't see this by now, there's visual evidence all over the place. And I'm not even a tape guy. I can tell you just watching the game. But then when stuff surfaces after, it just confirms what I saw again. So now it's a double confirmation. Double confirmation, which means I don't got an ego. I don't think I'm the smartest guy in the room ever, okay? But this means I'm right. This means a lot of people on draft night were right about their concerns. This is a joke that we're still talking about it. At this level in the National Football League, you cannot get away with staring guys down, all right, and being one read and go. You cannot. How many times did I say? You cannot. You got to be able to throw the football in this league enough to win. Enough. And that might not even be good enough. You got to be able to spin the damn rock. You got to be able to anticipate. You got to be able to process. None of this has gotten better. He's been bailed out by wins because we've been pounding the damn fucking football. And part of that's on him, too. Because he's a great runner. All right? Not good, that's one of the things he does that's special to me. He just finds ways to go for 75 a game. You know what I mean? But we cannot continue to sit here and act like he's gotten better in the pocket. Oh, sure, stepping up? Sure. Okay, what do you freaking do? You're stepping up, but you're staring down. You're hurting all your skill position players. Imagine running routes and never being looked at. Imagine running a damn route and not being looked at. Do you want to continue to run them? Would you want to continue to run them? It's a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke. Call me a hater. Call me whatever you want. He's not an NFL quarterback. Not if you want to be a good football team. Unless you want to go like Derrick Henry in the backfield and another pimp, right? And then maybe you can talk to me about winning games. Okay? Maybe you could talk to me. But they tried to allow him yesterday because they thought they would stay in the game regardless to throw the football early on. They tried to open him up early on. And what happened? Pick City. And when you got a defensive back that nobody even knows talking about after the game, we want you to throw the ball. Nobody says that about any quarterback in the National Football League. No, Ryan Tannehill and Jalen Hurts. We want you to throw the ball. Right? Or rookies. Right? Or rookies that, got to go through the process.
That's what they say about Sam Darnold.
Guy really said we want him to throw the ball. What did you say? Oh, my God. And you're a nobody. We want you to throw the ball. You see McKinney's picks, right? Because the dude played with him in Alabama. He knows exactly what's coming. The guy stares everything down.
He's eyeing up every receiver. He's staring everybody down. I know where he's throwing it. I'm watching on the television.
You can't continue to do this. You can't run the ball 75 times a game, every game, right? They're going to be baited into wanting to throw the football because it's the National Football League, right? Coaches want to throw the football enough, right? GMs and execs and owners, they want to throw the football enough, okay? They want to throw the football. Right? You can't throw a pick down there in that situation. There's also situational football, Ryan, which we've given a lot of credit for. You're throwing picks. I don't even know where you're throwing a ball to. What are you doing? What are you doing?
Throwing into double coverage. That's where.
It's egregious. Forget even double coverage. The guy's standing right there. What are you trying to fit in? He's not even in the end zone. Your player is not even in the end zone with 8 seconds. So time and situation, you failed yesterday. All right, and then you threw another pick early on down there. So how many red zone or in their end did you turn the football over yourself? And I know he goes to the mic and says, "Yup." You know what I mean? He takes full responsibility. I get it. Did he make 2 good balls? Throw 2 good balls at the end of the game to give you a chance to win? Yeah, he did. But they were dropped. They weren't caught. It's not completed. It's not what ifs. So we didn't win the football game yesterday. So when you just sit back, and the last thing I'm going to say, when you sit back and watch it all, look, it's 10 minutes. I mean, part of it's obviously the intro, but 10 minutes is because I'm so hot. I'm so hot under the collar that we have not seen anything get better, and we're fans. We want things to get better. We just want to see growth. You're a tremendous kid, but you haven't gotten fucking better. And then don't tell me he has. Don't give me no 4th in the NFL and this or that or they. Nothing.
That'll be
nothing.
That'll be me.
Egregious. The passes I saw yesterday. That's Pee-wee shit. Lincoln Riley couldn't save his ass right now. Are you kidding me? Dallas Goedert's running wide open when me and Riley walked before the show. Running wide open, and he's looking that way and throws to a covered guy underneath. It might be a touchdown, like Riley said, watching it again. It might be a touchdown.
Tom, what was the first thing I said to you when you had me go watch the video? I said, Tom, I see Goedert, and I see him before they even switched the camera. I'm like, I see him in the corner of the screen. And that was before we even went to the camera. I'm sitting here in a chair, and I see him. What am I going to do? You know what I'm saying? I see him. He's not even on camera. I see him. But the quarterback didn't see him. Or if he saw him, was either not confident in himself to get him the ball or not confident in the guy they just paid, which I'll get to later because that's a whole other thing. Tom, and I just want to stress to the people, and I'm speaking for all of us, not just you and I, not just me, not just people on Wednesdays, everybody. Maybe some people enjoy it because I know a couple people like watching the world burn, as do I. I don't like doing this. I don't like having to have the same conversations about a guy, especially the quarterback, the most important position in all sports. I don't like this, right? Like the last 3 weeks, it was fun for me. It was fun for us. Like, oh, could they make the playoffs? Oh, are they actually good? Like we knew this team. Listen, I'm not going to say we're not taking everything away that we had the last 3 weeks because there's a lot of good, right? But what did we also say, right? All that good stuff could quickly go away if you do what you did yesterday, right? All this, oh, well, maybe he is the guy, and oh, maybe Nick did turn the corner, and oh, maybe Miles isn't soft, and Jalen, well, we always thought Jalen Reagor sucks. But all these other things, you know what I'm saying? Like all these things that we said, oh, these are positives. We could build on it. Sure, and they exist. Some were very, very deep down. But it all goes away when you put up 7 points to the New York friggin' Giants.
Yeah, and this game isn't even on Nick either. You know, no. Like I told you, I said it yesterday and agree to disagree. I'll guarantee the people that the phone call came from Jeffrey Lurie to try to air it out a little bit with him on Sunday. I'll guarantee it. I'll put my whole reputation on it. And then they had it. Then they had to run it, right? Then in the second half, they said, "Oh, guys, this isn't working. We're going to pound you," and they did a great job of it.
Like I'll just say this real quick about the coach because I'll forget it. Because the amount of messages I've gotten, and I've seen people on the dial, I've seen people in comment sections, hours all over the place, in game, post game. So they're talking about Nick, right? And I'm not trying to give the guy a pass because he has his own flaws, which we've well documented. Go back and listen for 5 seconds. We've talked about it a lot. So I'm not trying to give the guy a pass. But I'm going to be fair, just like I'm trying to be fair. We're trying to be fair with everybody in this organization, from the quarterback to the running back to the wide receivers to the coach. Maybe not the GM because he is an idiot. Maybe not the owner because it is his fault. People were talking about certain plays just in yesterday's game with, oh, how could Nick do this? How could Nick put and scheme out a play to Greg Ward in the red zone at the end of the half where he drops it? Okay, listen, I get it. Greg Ward isn't good. He actually is like, he's not a good wide receiver. I know he's a folk hero because he's the former quarterback and he came in and he's been in the practice squad, I feel like my entire life. Like, awesome. But really, if you stack him up as like a third, fourth wide receiver against like other third, fourth wide receivers around the league, Greg Ward's at the bottom, ladies and gentlemen. And that's not a shot. The guy's a quarterback. All right. The guy's been on the practice squad for years. But everyone taking shots at Nick Sirianni and the offensive coordinator and everybody, and Shane Steichen, which his name still sucks. What do you want them to do? Okay, if Greg Ward's not out there, what do you want them to do? Who's there? Reagor? No.
Well, listen,
Quez? He's already out there.
That ball's got to be caught too, but that's not a good ball though. Like anybody out there tells me that's a good ball, go back and watch it. I only watched it the 2 times they showed me. I'm going to tell you, that's not a great ball. You're 7 feet away. Guys, put that in guys' fucking chest from there, right? So I'm not telling you it's a good ball. I'm not telling you it shouldn't be caught. I'm telling you it should be caught. Greg Ward is just a guy. He's just a guy to your point, right? So Nick is in a situation where this is what he has right now, right? You got to work with what you have. But the bigger underlying issue is the guy throwing it kills everything you have.
Well, that's what I'm saying. And like I said, I'm not trying to say Nick Sirianni's done a good job at all. I think he's done a bad job if we're just grading him for the first, 11, 12 weeks, okay? Because it took him so long to
what? Sorry, I got to.
I think he's done a poor job if we're just taking all 12 weeks into it, because it took him 7 weeks to actually change. And again, I think a lot of that has to do with the owner. I think a lot of that has to do with the owner.
But how I feel about him, and I would give Nick more of a C right now, and I don't even like Nick like that. So I'm just basing like he's average. I think his play designs and stuff I actually like. Mm-hmm. It's just the guy that's handling it under center. I'm just not. He's not gonna win you games with his arm.
And Stelios, I appreciate all the comments, brother. So like, don't think I'm taking a shot at you here, but I completely disagree with the motivate the team more. These are professional athletes that are getting paid millions of dollars. Some of them are stealing money. Jalen Reagor. They don't need. They're grown men. If I, in any business, doing other things, playing golf, playing football, playing basketball, being an accountant, whatever you do, if you need another grown man to motivate you to do your job, you're in the wrong field. Okay? That's just in life, in my opinion. Okay? And anyone can agree or disagree with that. That's fine.
Yeah, I'm in the middle with you on that. I think there's an importance. There's an importance too. There is great motivators out there that make great head coaches.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Mike Tomlin's one of them. So I mean, I agree and disagree. Like I understand they're pro athletes, but even more so than sometimes they need the motivation. They're getting a lot of money, so sometimes like the team and the culture and what you're trying to build, right? Mm. In terms of that kind of stuff, right? Motivational wise, like I think a good speech is always great, but it's not going to win or lose you a game. Right? It's how you can, at this level, get guys to go about their business the right way. Get guys to buy in. That type of motivation. Now, at the level I'm at, it's a motivation like, it's fundamentals, and then it's, let's go, right? And then, yes. But I do think the importance of a motivator is always I'm always going to take the motivator over a guy who's not. Right, like if you put 2 on the table and said, "Hey, this guy's really good at play design, really good here." I don't know what kind of leader he is, but this guy's a phenomenal leader, and his play calls is like okay. But I'll take the guy whose play calls is okay. That's a phenomenal leader at this level because I think that can also win for you. So I'm not telling you you're wrong. That's not.
No. I
know what you're saying.
Yeah, I think we're both right in this sense because we're looking at it just based off of how we weigh certain things. You know what I'm saying?
Like, I'm a motivator, so for me not to like,
exactly.
For me not to want a motivator, it would be like a double standard in sports. Like I want.
You're also a coach too. You're speaking as a coach. I'm not. So like you're gonna take the motivational side. You know what I'm saying?
Like this though. You look at it like this though. I tried to be that motivator to you when you started here. Yeah. So in a way, we created that culture. Now, you don't need it all the time like you did before, per se, right? But you just think of it like, you know what I mean? In terms of like that, like, okay, because the culture was built. So then it's like, you don't need that motivator. And in terms of like doing what you love, you never really need a motivator in terms to your point, right? Mm-hmm. So like, I agree there. But then there's also the side of it like, yeah, these are grown men, but not all are. Like you talk about, a lot of these guys are 22 years old with a lot of money.
Yeah, Reagor's 22. I keep forgetting that's how young he is.
Yeah, he's young. Yeah. So I mean, listen, he might have an okay NFL career and just be around for a while because of his age. I don't know, but right now it doesn't look good for anything. But again, some of these guys are young. Where you do need, they do need some of that motivation. They need that structure. They need that culture. That's so right. I don't know. I mean, like,
no,
it's irrelevant in the conversation. Like it's irrelevant. All that extra. Right now, to your point, is irrelevant.
Well,
okay? The relevant thing is the poll question. The relevant thing is why did we lose and how bad is this? That's what it is.
And Tom, I said to you at the very beginning, before we even came on, and I said, every week I try and be like, oh, maybe I'll take the separate side. There is no other side. I don't think there's another side to the poll, in my opinion. Like, there's just not. Like, I see people taking shots at Reagor. Yeah, okay, that conversation, number one, I don't think it needs to be had, but we'll have it just because it was egregious. People blaming Nate Herbig for the loss. Listen, he took 7 points off the board, and he took that 35, 40-yard rush from Jalen Hurts.
Yeah,
coming out of
it been called. And if it's Jason Kelce, they probably don't get called.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
So those are not like even egregious penalties. Like the guy's trying to make a play, trying to block somebody. That shit ain't easy. So you say, oh, like don't get your arm around them. Like that's what sold it. Like more so than anything else. So to your point, yeah, there's other people. Did you freeze on me?
I'm here now. The whole thing went black. Am I here?
Yeah, you're back.
Okay. The whole thing went black. I'm like, oh, okay. But no.
Yeah, go ahead. So yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, like, I see all these other people going, getting thrown into it. You can't win. You can't expect to win football games when you have 3 turnovers. Just as a quarterback, I'm not even like I'll throw the Boston Scott in there just as a team. Like you have 4 turnovers as a team. Like you can't expect to win football games. You just can't unless you're forcing turnovers on the other side. Which like I think the defense is kind of getting a pass. At one point, because I saw like Brink said in our chat, like, oh well, we only gave up 13 points to the Giants. Well, it's the friggin' Giants. It's Daniel Jones. You know what I'm saying? Half their team wasn't there. Saquon Barkley has 1 leg. You know what I'm saying? And like, listen, you play who you play.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't think our defense was an issue yesterday. I'm not going to go around crowning them. But, like, they didn't get any sacks. They didn't get any turnovers. Okay. But
and how many times do I have to hear Mark Schlereth say, oh, Daniel Jones looks comfortable? Like, those words should never be said.
No, but the other side of it is, like, we didn't capitalize when we were down there. So now you're even now your defense giving up 13 is actually even more of a positive in a way because you kept putting not them in bad situations, but you kept shifting momentum right back to them all the time. Like anytime we would get any momentum driving down the field, it was a turnover. So think about that.
Yeah, it was empty drives. It was long, sustaining drives that resulted in nothing.
Yeah.
It was like you replicated what you did against the 49ers where you had that 96-yard Quez Watkins play, but you got 0 points out of it. Like if you do that, but you did it like 3 times. Really 4 times if you throw the Boston Scott thing in there. So no, I mean, and again, I think even the Jalen Hurts defenders would say that, listen, he was bad yesterday. And again, I still say that, and I say, okay, well, he's looked better the last handful of weeks, but he failed yesterday. And the coach said that too. But this is the thing, and I said it to you before we came on, Tom, and I've been alluding to it the last few weeks. But I said because, like we were talking about with Nick, because we want to be fair, I'm not going to bring it up when we're winning. Because, from sweeps, what he was saying on Sunday to where, let's embrace what Jalen Hurts does well as instead of picking out what he doesn't do well. I'm full go for that when you win. But I was saying the last 3-4 weeks that there's something that I'm seeing with the fan base and with this quarterback that I'm going to ignore for the time being because we're winning. But the second you have a situation like you did yesterday or you just lose a game, I'm bringing it up. And this is something that I think even when people try and defend Hurts and deflect blame, they're actually doing something which is making our points even more valid. How can you expect to win long-term? Again, we're not saying bench him. We're not saying not give him another chance next year. I think, Tom, you and I are still in the same boat. We want to see it through next year because we want to try and build around him, right? Let's see that. Let's go through that. Unless he obviously replicates and he plays like this for the remainder of the year, then we have a different conversation. But all we keep hearing from this fan base is you've got to run. You've got to run. Oh, you can't throw. You can't throw. It's gotten to so bad now to where any times we actually throw the ball, people are like getting angry that we're throwing the ball. When do you hear a quarterback situation where you're actually angry when they throw the friggin' ball? This fan base has become angry and nervous when the quarterback throws.
Yeah, rightfully so. I mean, I don't think anybody didn't see the same issues. Right? We talked about on numerous shows. The only way you're winning football games is you got to pound it down people's throats, which sets up play action. But then there's time and place. Then there's what happened yesterday. Then there's trying. I got no problem with you throwing the ball with him. right? Spots, right? You tried to come out and throw the ball around like you got a guy that can do it, right? Like you got a guy that can do it, which I don't understand. When the week before, you have a formula here. The week before, you went against the best rush defense in football, and you said, stop me. You just said, stop me, and they couldn't. So now you go against the 23rd ranked rush defense, and instead of saying, stop me, you want to get cute and say, hey, you know what? Let's catch them off guard. We'll air out a little bit. Okay? And I'm telling you where that came from.
Up the top. Because
where it came from. The movie producer at the top. I'll also tell you this about Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
I would give him next year, and I'm not even a fan of him because I don't know if he's going to get better, right? But to our points all week for weeks now was, let's just, there's not that quarterback in the draft. Well, I'm going to go one step further. This isn't me doing this. I promise you that if this team doesn't make the playoffs, as bad as it is, right, and he doesn't throw the ball well, I promise you there will be a veteran quarterback in this building starting for this football team next year. You can book that. I don't know who it's going to be. I would lean to a guy like Derek Carr as a sleeper name that nobody's going to talk about. But there is players out there. There's players out there, I'm telling you, that they will make a move for.
Go further west. Go further west. You're close. Go further west. And I don't like it. I've said it before, but go further west.
Where am I going?
NFC West.
No, Jimmy G, no.
Would you be shocked?
Yes. Can't throw it enough. That they're not looking for that. I'm telling you, this is a guy who wants to air it. He wants an air attack. He said this. The owner of this football team has made this clear. So he's trying, though. They're trying to figure out if this guy can do it enough. And I'm telling you, if he can't, they're going to go get a guy who can. And it might not be a Rodgers or a Wilson. It might be a sleeper name. And I just think Jimmy G's too low on that list, right? But there is a guy on that list in a situation where the Raiders are going to be thinking about rebuilding. That is a name that I could absolutely see playing here. And that's Derek Carr.
Well, I'll ask you, if you were the owner and those were the two options, Carr, Hurts, who are you going with? Because I can't do it.
Not even close.
Really?
Not even close. Not even close. Derek Carr deserves a ton of credit. One of my winners this week is Derek Carr. I mean, dude, what he's had to go through this year, and he still had an offense that's lighting it up on people. Dude, the guy can spin. He's the most underrated spinners there is in the league. Okay? What I'm telling you, because they don't have to give up. You're not giving up 2 firsts that you're going to give up for some guys.
No, you're probably giving up like a third or second or something.
Yes, it's a more that makes sense. I'm not here to crown Derek Carr. I think Derek Carr is a very good quarterback who doesn't get enough credit for how good of a quarterback he is. And he finally got in a good situation with Gruden and started to come together. And then everything falls flat on Raiders' faces. And this guy's stuck to pick up the pieces, and he has. He hasn't quit. He actually played really.
Oh, I love him as a person. He's one of my favorite players as far as just a guy, just a competitor. I love him.
And that's all I'll say to that. I just know for a fact that this owner will not sit around if he has a quarterback who can't throw the ball enough.
Yeah, Ricky, you're right. Like I'm not gonna argue. It's just maybe just my opinion of Carr is jaded because I've got Darren Waller on my fantasy, and I constantly see him overthrow Darren Waller, but I'm not. Jalen Hurts would probably do the same thing. He probably wouldn't even throw to Darren Waller, to be honest. He probably wouldn't even throw to him.
This is the guy that would fit what Nick's doing a ton. DeVonta Smith will probably have 100 catches. I'm dead serious with Derek Carr. I mean, this is a pro's pro who can read defenses, get the ball out of his hand quickly, and they haven't done any of that either. Like they should be doing back to the Jalen conversation. They should be doing more of a traditional West Coast offense. Well, we talk about this for weeks. Get the ball out the hand quick decisions, which will then start to make him relax and trust more, right? And they don't do enough of it. And listen, they need a real quarterback in here. If this guy doesn't win football games down the stretcher, I'm just telling you guys how it's going to go. People say, Tom, you're crazy. You can book it. There will be another quarterback in here, and I don't think it's coming through the draft because as much as they talk about rebuilding, they're always going to have the urge to win, especially after this year where they're like, oh, okay, maybe we're closer than we think we are. Right? Maybe we're closer than we think we are.
You know what's funny too, and I see
I'll leave you with this, Rye, on the Derek Carr. If Derek Carr was on this roster over Jalen Hurts right now, is this team first in the division or at least in the playoffs right now?
Oh, we're definitely one of the wild cards.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna say, because how many wins does Dallas have? 7?
So they're not lighting the world on fire. You're just flipping us around a little bit.
Yeah, that's true.
7-5. Are the Eagles 5-7 or 7-5 with Derek Carr?
No, you're probably 7-5 because you're winning that San Fran game and you're winning yesterday. So what is that? 2 wins? That's flipped.
Yeah.
I'm not even like thinking that deep into it. Like I, do we win that Chargers game, which we were very close to winning? You know what I'm saying? The defense was abysmal, but like that's the thing that you got to, that's what we talk about. Like we don't enjoy doing this, but when you have a performance like this, and 2 things. Number one, Tom, you and I'm not saying we call this because we picked the Eagles to beat the Giants, but what did we say on Wednesday? And people were getting mad at you and I. We opened the friggin' show, and this isn't like to praise the Giants because they still suck. We turned the ball over 4 times and we almost won the damn game. We were 2 drops away from, or really 1 drop away from winning the friggin' game. So they stink. They're horrible. But you had a situation where we talked about on Wednesday, let's just be careful. The fan base is saying, hey, we're going to blow them out by 30. Yeah. Can we just be careful? That's all we said. We said I think we both picked them to win by like 5 or something, right? Like, but we said the Giants might hang around a little bit. This was not saying that, hey, maybe we're not as good as we see the last handful of weeks, especially because Jordan Howard's not around and Miles Sanders is a question mark and all that stuff. And we also said, listen, of all the good things we saw with Jalen Hurts the last handful of weeks, just winning with him, if you have situations where you play like you did yesterday, you're going to play yourself out of the starting quarterback spot, to Tom's point.
And you're banged up. Like, I'll tell you this, Rye. He better play on Sunday. We better play. Because if not, the guy behind him might throw for 300. And Ryan's kicking out on us a little bit here. So, nothing new. Nothing new. Not nothing new with him, but nothing new having to talk just by myself for a minute. So you're talking about if he doesn't play on Sunday, which I think he will, right? I mean, he's just such a tough kid. I think it'd be hard to get him out of that. But if he doesn't play on Sunday, right, then there's a conversation that we might be seeing, because that conversation could be a guy like Gardner comes in. Don't let Uncle Rico come in and throw for 300. So you better figure out a way to play Sunday, because if he comes in and throws for 300 and they beat the Jets, now you got a quarterback controversy, and I know it's the Jets. I get it. But then you got one here in this city real quick. And I'll tell you, the owner would rather see a guy throw it fucking 35 times and at least look good than what he's watching.
Can I ask a question? Was I still here or did I disappear?
No, you spun.
Because when I was here, there was 4 of me. There was 4 of me, so I didn't know if there was a.
All right, there's nobody here.
Okay, good. Okay,
just you.
So only I saw that because I wouldn't want to see 4 of me.
Ryan, we do have Tom. Getting a better QB is such a band-aid scapegoat for this season. We have bigger holes to fill than a QB. I completely agree, right? That's why I was saying that I would give him his junior year. I'm speaking for what I think this owner would do. All right, I'm not speaking for what Tom would do right now. I'm almost telling you this is what he would do. He's not going to sit back and watch that. What he wants is to be able to air it out. So we'll see. We'll see. I give him the other year, even after what I watched yesterday.
Yeah. Well, just because we have to address some friggin' defenders here. You know what I'm saying? Like I heard Brinks in the chat, and I love Brinks. What he's like,
players. I don't even care where. Like, yes, I would prefer some studs defensively. We've spoken about this a million times, me and you, right? But I mean, you're gonna have four high picks essentially. So 2 and 2 doesn't matter how you do it, right? Just hit. Give me 2. You can give me 2 defensive players and 2 offensive players, right? Because we have more than just like holes defensively, you know. And we just do. I know Brink said another wide receiver. You might have to. If you don't start one, you know what I mean?
Oh, you got to sign. Yes, sign one. Yes, I can't do the draft again. I can't do it.
I'm talking like second round, maybe.
Oh, yeah. I'm Not first.
Them three first. I don't care what they are though. Like one of them could be a running back. If the best player on the board that we all love is a wide receiver, and then God forbid they took one, then fine. But then you're forced to take defensive players with your next 2 picks. So like I always want it's cliche. I know you do too. I want the best player available. Would I prefer that to be defensively? Of course. But where we're in such a fucking bad place. We're like in that in-between place.
Oh, it's hell. It's hell. And then like for all of our draft watchers being like, oh, we're like 4 weeks ago, it was like friggin' perfect. We won a game finally. The Dolphins still sucked. Oh, we might make the playoffs, but the Dolphins are going to have a top 5 pick. No, the Dolphins actually have a later pick than we do now. We're 9th, they're 10th. Yeah. So like for all like guys, we still have the Dolphins pick.
Yeah, Tua shoved that up your ass. Tua shoved it up his upper ass. Nikki asked, would you rather see Gardner if you had a choice this Sunday? I don't know. I mean, maybe, I guess.
No, not because I don't like Gardner and not because I don't want to actually see a quarterback try and throw the ball. What's going to happen is if Gardner plays, they're going to win big because it's the Jets, and then we're going to get messy, and it's going to be like a last 5-week little feud between the two, not like amongst themselves, but like people taking sides, like, oh, Gardner for the rest of the year. Oh, maybe Gardner should be the quarterback of 2022. Or, oh, it should be Hurts. And I can't do that. Like, I can deal with like a quarterback competition with like Foles and Wentz post Super Bowl. I can deal with it. I could even deal with like Vic Foles 2012. I could deal with that. I can't deal with a quarterback competition who Hurts Minshew. I might have to turn it in. I might have to take a sabbatical. You know what I'm saying? I just can't. I can't do that.
I can't. Like I said before, he would come out and throw for 300, and then you got one. But there's also the other side of it is like, well, dude, who gives a better chance of winning football games right now? A guy with a bad ankle that's biggest skill set is running around, or the other side?
Jay used your word, anticipation.
Jay, what's up, my brother? Jay North says Minshew plays with anticipation. He can move a little too, and he's accurate. He's way more accurate. Yeah, the anticipation is the word of the day. You guys tell me. This is how crazy this is. You tell me the amount of plays and throws that you've seen where you're like, wow, man, he threw that guy open. That's a great ball. He really anticipated that play. Or is he throwing the guys that already have their separation? You're talking about a split second. You're talking about a split second. You're going to say, Tom, why does it split second matter, Tom? Why does it matter? What does the split second matter? Everybody okay? That's a difference. That's the difference of being quick, decisive, knowing what you want to do with the football. I'm not asking the guy to be Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers had a little flare out by the running back yesterday. Didn't like what he saw. Boom, popped the hips, came back to the tight end, first down. Right. That's what good quarterbacks do, though. Like to be able to go from read 1 to read 2 and know what you're seeing.
True.
I don't tell anybody anymore.
Jesse,
it defines the quarterback position in the National Football League. Like you said, millions of people have said over the years, it's the most important position in sports. And the thing that makes you better than the guy next to you is how good do you read it and how good do you anticipate it.
Jesse, real quick, I'll just throw a little revision in there. Substitute Charles Cross for Andrew Booth or a cornerback, and then I'll be running around.
Yeah, running around. Jesse, I'm not doing any of this right now. So I don't even read it, and I love you. I wouldn't even pull the comment up. I'm just not doing that right now.
I'm going to say this out loud because I'm going to say this in confidence. I almost did a mock draft last night, but I stopped on the homepage. I got to the website, Tom. I got to the website and I stopped myself.
They're still going to make the playoffs. There's no point to even do it. They're still going to make the playoffs. So, in some crazy way, they still will.
I don't know if I could do that.
Where did you get crushed from anticipation at, Rome? On here? Not on here, you didn't.
No.
Been yelling that since draft night. So, I mean, nothing changed there.
No. The other thing, Tom, and I brought it up to you pre-show, and you made a really good point. So, I'm not necessarily blaming the player. I'm not necessarily blaming the GM or the quarterback or the coach because I don't know who I want to blame, really. And no, Ricky, Greg wouldn't even want to. Greg doesn't even know where to find the machine. First off, Dallas Goedert. Okay, everyone's talking about Jalen Reagor and DeVonta Smith, justifiably so. He was targeted yesterday, Dallas Goedert. I think twice, 3 times at the most. I think three. I think he had 1 catch, 3 targets. It's one of 2 things, right? If we're just going to say, okay, it's not the quarterback's fault, which very well could be. But this isn't the first game this has happened, and it's probably not going to be the last. You have to, against a division opponent, when you're expecting the quarterback to throw the ball, you've either got to get him involved, and you didn't do that because he was targeted 3 times. And then I ask you, okay, if it's a targeting issue or a game plan issue, then why the hell did you pay him?
But it's not.
Oh, I hear you. I'm just taking all angles.
Well, don't even take this angle. It's not even worth your time. I'm promising you. This is like the one angle. It's not. I would tell you, it's worth your time. And I got. Listen, you want to talk and be critical of Dallas Goedert at times? I'm right with you. But this, we can't watch what we watched and say anything else unless balls hit your hands. Because at the end of the day, we watched him go wide open on that play. So how many more are there? How many more? I would venture to guess he's open at times. I mean, you got your number 1 wide receiver throwing his helmet after the game because he's so wide open. So how much is this going on, Ryan? It's going on a ton. Rob Brinkman right here with the review lineup and all. It doesn't fucking matter. If you're not going through progressions and you're not going through your reads, you can fucking have 10 TOs out there. It's we don't, but it's see, it's not going to matter. Simple.
Hurts is giving him the asthma.
Yeah. God, I got this call for 2 weeks, right? But like you guys everybody's gotta understand it. We can't even judge our skill position players right now. Outside of Jalen Reagor, we already knew he wasn't good.
Well, that's why this is literal hell, right, Tom? Because, and we can say this for a couple of different teams, but with the Sixers, but we'll get to that later. We have so much bad happening with our Eagles, and I don't even know where to blame them first. You know what I'm saying? Because I want to blame the GM because he's the one and the owner because they're the 2 that got us into this mess in the first place. Then I want to blame the quarterback, but I'm like, he's a good kid. He didn't draft himself here. He didn't push Carson out of here. You know what I'm saying? And then I want to blame the, Dallas Goedert, but I'm like, oh, well, he's never thrown to. And when he is, he drops it, but then he's open 65 other times. It's like, I don't know what to do with my freaking hands, Tom. I don't know what to do. And then I can't pull Jason Kelce, it's the whole team, because the last 3 weeks it hasn't been the whole team because you've been doing something that works. And then I also think, well, damn, is Jordan Howard the MVP of the NFL? Because is he that much of a difference? You know what I'm saying?
Sorry, I think he's a difference. I think he's a difference when they want to pound the ball down people's throats like that. Absolutely. But there's also going to be games where they gotta, like you said, this isn't. Yeah, things have worked, and then they tried to air it out a little bit more with him, and he just can't. And he doesn't go through anything, so it's his first look, right? Mm-hmm. It's his first look, and when it's your first look, I have to almost ignore sort of what other guys in their production are. Our leading receiver was Kenneth Gainwell at the end of the game out of the backfield. So, I mean, how do we judge anything? What
is this? Hello, here we go, Carson Wentz lovers. You know what's funny? I don't know what that podcast is. Sir, here we go, Carson Wentz lovers. I was actually just going to bring something up pertaining to people talking about him. Because I see it, and right, like it's natural human nature to like go back to what was prior. So people gotta stop talking about him. All right, like people gotta stop talking about him like he's in the same light as Jefferson and DK Metcalf. We didn't go into the building saying we want Carson out of here. He left. He quit. He did. He traded himself. He basically traded himself to the promised land and second father, Frank Reich. We didn't say, you know what we're going to do? We think Carson sucks. We're going to trade him. He was exactly PB 609. He was the worst quarterback in the league last year. There was actually some backups that came in around the league that were better than him. He didn't get any better. He regressed when there was more of a spotlight, aside from him turning the ball over both ways or getting hurt constantly. And he saw Hurts arrive, and he got scared. And as soon as, and these aren't my words, this is him on the McAfee podcast after the Packers game. He said after that Packers game happened and Jalen Hurts came in, he looked at himself in the mirror and he said, this ain't it. Howie didn't say that. Jeffrey didn't say that. Hurts didn't say that. He left. So stop everybody on Twitter. I get it. Listen, he looked good for 3 quarters. You know what happened in the fourth quarter? They lost. They lost the game. So everyone talking him up like he's undefeated right now. I get it. He had a way bigger upside, and he had that 2017 season. It's over. It's done. Except for his snap count, I don't give a damn about the guy. I don't. He does nothing for me. He's never coming back. He's not helping me. He's not helping us. Get to where you need to be, and it's over.
I don't know why Carson's even being talked about.
He was the number one trend. You know what's crazy, Tom? It was the number one trend on Twitter in Philadelphia. If you go back all yesterday, from like 4 o'clock to like right in the middle of your show, the number one, if you just search locations on Twitter, the number one trend is a quarterback that isn't even friggin' here. And yes, Roland, I respect him. He helped us get a ring. It was 4 years ago. And I'm not disagreeing with you, Roland, but you know what I'm saying. It's over. Enough. These friggin' beat writers giving these Carson Wentz, 320 yards, 300. Who cares? Give me snap counts, and that's it. And even at that point, I'm done with it. Because it's going to be a mid to late first round pick.
I don't know. I said it week 1. I didn't want to talk about him anymore. Right? If the pick is what it is. It'll fall where it falls. Play 75%. Don't give a fuck. Right? I mean, I've been pretty clear on that since day one. I even talked about, I didn't even want us even talking about him post-wise. Anything. There's nothing to talk about. Nothing to talk about with the guy. We talked about his own agreed history yesterday. There's nothing to talk about. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of time. What matters is what's in the building. Because that's the only thing that's here. Jeremiah, I appreciate you. And yeah, he did help us win a ring, and good for him. All right. I got no ill will. I don't give a shit. Okay. Things didn't work out here. So, what do we have? And what we have, is that good enough to get us where we want to go? And yesterday is just more proof that it's not.
Well, and here's the other thing too. And I'm not comparing. Okay. I'm not. Because I can already hear the friggin' typing. What I don't want to do, and this is more for like a 2-year period, okay? I'm not saying for this year because we know this is a limited team, whether they make the playoffs or not. What I need to make sure, and Howie and Jeffrey need to make sure of, we got to make sure whatever we think is the right path at quarterback, whether it's staying with Hurts, whether it's drafting, whether it's getting a veteran, whoever it is. We have no idea. We don't have a crystal ball, like Tom says every week. We have to make sure that whether we don't know if we're going to be right or wrong with this, is that guy going to be able to carry you to wins? I want a really good defense. I want a really good running game. I want weapons to help the quarterback. But we can't be the Broncos or the Vikings or the 49ers with Garoppolo or all these other teams, the Panthers that they've gone to Darnold, or really they went from Bridgewater to Darnold to P.J. Walker to Cam back to P.J. Walker. When they have a ton of weapons, all these pieces on defense that they've went out and got because they thought they were going to win something this year. We have to make sure we don't have somebody like any of those people going forward. No idea if Hurts is going to end up being the guy or fill in the blank quarterback that we get after Hurts is going to be the guy. But we can't be going into it as a fan base, which I see people are, or as an organization saying, let's build around, and it doesn't matter who the quarterback is because we're going to run the ball. It's not going to happen because Jeffrey Lurie's the owner. We're going to throw the ball.
This is all. Listen, I'm telling you guys, we talked about it earlier on the show. It's all meaningless. If he doesn't throw the football at a high rate to finish this year, or if they're not in the playoffs, and maybe even if they are, they're going to get somebody who can throw the football. And if that's in the draft, I don't know. If that's a veteran, I don't know. But they will not sit still. They just won't. It's just not. This is not who they are. Like they gave the guy essentially a whole year, and if this continues to show up where they don't feel like they can throw the ball at all with them, that's bad, guys.
Yeah,
and they won't sit around. They won't sit around and wait for him. Like he's going to get better.
The other thing, real quick, before we go to winners and losers and all that stuff. I obviously saw your video about the other Jalen, but did I read correctly? Was it a scout or was it a former player? They were trying to say, Jalen Reagor dropped the ball because he needs glasses. Did I see that or did I imagine that?
No, I didn't hear that.
I'll find it. Like somebody, and I don't think it was just a guy. I think it was like somebody who actually has like a voice in the league. It was like, he needs glasses. But
Billy, I don't think you're cutting Jalen Reagor right now, and you're not trading him right now. So you're sort of just stuck with it. So it is what it is.
Fam, enough with the cutting Reagor thing. First off, JJ Arcega-Whiteside's still here, who is actually probably better than Reagor. But you hung on to him for 3 years and he hasn't done anything. You hung on to Pumphrey for years and he didn't do anything. And those two guys were second rounders and fourth rounders or third rounders. This is a first round pick that you took over Jefferson. We have Howie Roseman here. He's going to get a roster spot and actually playing time because of that. And if Sirianni was asked today on Jalen Reagor, and he was asked okay, what's the situation? Nick Sirianni says he has not given any thought to benching Jalen Reagor because it wouldn't be in the best interest of the team. Straight from up top. You know why he hasn't given any thought to it? Because he's not allowed to.
Well, one, because he's not allowed to, and two, because there's nothing else. So you have what you have. Yep. I'm not even. I already know what Jalen Reagor is. This is deeper than him dropping passes. The whole thing is way deeper than Jalen Reagor dropping passes. It starts with your quarterback, and it essentially can end there too. And we're at the point where the fork's going to hit the road at some point throughout this final stretch of games. He's either going to play to a level where we're confident and comfortable in giving him that next year, or there's going to be more of this. And if there's more of this, then I can almost book he won't be the quarterback next year. Might not even be on this roster.
No, because a team would look at him. There's a team out there that would look at him.
He gives Yep, Ryan. Both you guys. I heard him say that.
Umberto, Tom, and Ryan. I will bet you anything we will have a new quarterback this year. You know, Howie and Jeffrey have low patience at the position. We aren't taking that bet because we agree with you.
Yeah, we talked about it probably before you came in, Umberto. That will be the case. That will absolutely be the case.
I wanted to real quick on this game because I know we talked about it a little bit in the chat, in the group chat, and I don't know if you guys got a chance to talk about it yesterday. 1, 2, 3. Obviously, we know Hurts is 1. Who's 2 and 3 as far as blame meter for yesterday?
Oh. Boston Scott 2.
Ooh, okay.
That's big. It's inside their territory.
I hear you.
It's inside their territory. It's almost worse than the drop because you actually have it in your hands. It's already in your hands. Now I need you to hold it in your hands. That's a huge fumble. He got bailed out by Reagor's drops. He got bailed out. That's a huge fumble. Not a lot of people are talking about.
Our defense bailed him out too because we got a quick 3 and out too to even give us the opportunity to get a possession too.
Think about that. So I'm going to put him ahead of Reagor because that was a drive we needed to do something on. Right now,
that's why we're scoring too.
third I'll give the Reagor just because that's egregious. The whole process is egregious, but like I don't expect him to make those catches. That's just not who I think he is. So, and he just proves it more. Soft, right? Soft. He's soft. He's soft. We knew this already, okay? And it's proven, right? But you can't fumble the ball down there. That drive, we are moving. We were moving, all right? The last drive is a little bit different, right? You're right, JJ. You're 100% right. You do deserve to start. See,
he's locked in. He's on pace for 1,000 yards, Tom.
But what I'll tell you, right? That's the bigger issue. Because you were cruising down, you were driving down the field, you were running the ball down their throats. That's a drive like I felt like we were coming away with points, like 7, right? Like I felt like we were going down there, and it was going to be up to our defense to make a stop on their last drive.
Just to play devil's advocate with you, I'll swap for mine. I'll swap Herbig in for Scott because Herbig literally took 7 points off the board, or technically 6 points off the board. With that play, you know what I mean?
But I can't, like, it's got to be like, to me, the blame penalties has to almost be like, I don't know, like your false start or you're like, the holding, I feel like can be called all the fucking time.
Fair. You know what? I'm still going to say Herbig, but to your point, I'll argue against myself because this is what I do. You can control fumbling a football. You can't control a ref calling a flag. Like, sure, you can control it if you don't hold, but how many former players have said this? Everything's holding. It's just a matter of, do you decide to call it? You know what I mean? Like you can control holding onto the football.
No, that's like I don't like that one doesn't like I'm not ranking like really. I guess I'm ranking Scott over Reagor, but I'm really not. I mean, they're both bad, right? Just in different ways. But that fumble is huge. Like if I sat here and crushed Miles Sanders for fumbles last week, then I can't sit here and crush a guy when we're driving. We're driving.
Sorry, Tom. Nate, Lamar's won an MVP. Did Jalen Hurts?
No, stop with the Lamar and Jalen. I'm not doing this shit. I'm going to talk about the guy that we watch. The guy that we watch.
It's just such a. I saw somebody say that yesterday. Like when you guys were reacting, which was electric, by the way. Your reactions to the Sunday night game last night. Like, oh, Lamar, bad game. Should they cut him? No. Nobody's also saying to cut Hurts. Also, nobody's saying that he's not the future. We're saying to play him next year. But also, somebody has an MVP trophy in his house. The other one doesn't. So enough. Thanks. Like I can't imagine people like typing that and being like, oh, I got him. I got him on the ropes, Tom. I got him.
Yeah. Oh my God. You guys are really like taking it too literal. I'm talking about
it's a list. It's a list of 3 guys. All 3 of them sucked.
All 3 of them. I'm not saying one. I don't even want to get into like whose was more important because the most important one's the only one that matters, and that's a quarterback who wasn't good enough. The other 2 just are irrelevant to me. They're either 2 or 3. Any way you want to rank them, I don't give a shit. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not arguing with nobody. But don't tell me the Boston Scott's not huge. We can all love him, but that's huge. It's a fucking huge fumble. I don't want to hear otherwise. That's a huge goddamn fumble. He got out. He snuck right out of the Nova. He snuck right out of the Meadowlands because of Reagor. So Reagor's is egregious because it's the last thing we saw. Right? We know he stinks out. But I need Boston to hold on to the football, though. Come on. They're both as bad. We might score 7 there. We were pounding down their throat. Y'all just want to give him I fucking feel the pass is being given. Some of y'all motherfuckers won't even have him 3. You love him, little guy. You fucking hug him.
Hey, listen. Another running back you couldn't stay in the game. So I would love to have him.
Yeah, well, we already know his deal. He's soft as baby shit. He really is.
I don't even know if he got benched because he got hurt too. Like he got hurt, so like don't quote me, ladies and gentlemen. Like we're not doing sources here, but how many times we got to see the same dance behind the scenes? Oh, he was on. I saw this too today. Oh, he was on pace for a great game.
Yeah, I mean, he was averaging over 7 yards a carry. So I mean, so I'll say sure. He was fine.
But all that goes away when you get hurt again.
He was, you know, I mean, I would have taken him, but he's still a dancer, and he keeps getting hurt. So I mean, part of you being good is all these things.
And that's at the end of the day. Like when we got in the big debate with people like, oh, is he worth extending after this year or keeping around? Like we can talk for 2 hours about like he's not consistent enough and the dancing and the fumbles and completely regressing and being invisible in the passing game. You know, as opposed to what he was his rookie year where he was a legitimate weapon in the passing game. I guess his hands, I guess he started living with Reagor where his hands just don't work. But all that goes away because you're not on the football field, dude. Like you're missing more games than you're playing.
Yep.
So like all like the things we could say, like, oh, you're soft because you fumble. No, you're just not there. You're just not there. So like I don't even need to like continue with that. You're not there.
Diva mind, diva body.
Yeah. And like I said in the chat, like if he would have scored a touchdown, I'm waiting for the tweet.
No, well, this is the biggest thing, Umberto. The best ability is availability. So you can't be top running back in football if you're not on the field.
No,
same thing goes for Christian McCaffrey. You can be all talent in the world. You can't stay on the field. That's a problem.
I just watched Elijah Mitchell, who got drafted in the 6th round last year. Okay. He had like 130 yards.
I'm not going to tell you it doesn't matter depending on the guy, but you can go get another one, dude. They're like the running backs are like the easiest position to go get good backs. Like it's not hard to draft good running backs. It's really not. If you look all around college football, there's a lot of explosive guys running the football. A lot every year. A lot of guys that can fucking run it.
Oh my God, they actually did it.
What?
Oh my God. No.
Simeon and Seager?
Yeah, I did hear that they wanted to play together. Yeah. We'll get to the Phillies. See now I might start saying stuff.
Well, it is in the AL though. But that's not who we're going after though.
No.
Listen, our list is Cedric Mullins.
Yes, please.
Some fashion if we can try to get him.
Yes.
But Bryant Schwarber, I really believe I'm telling you, Schwarber's going to be a Philly. You can book that. Book it. I'm not telling you that's all they're going to do. It'd be a nice start to things. But I really believe Schwarber and Bryant are both going to be Phillies.
Oh,
I really put my reputation on Schwarber. I really will. And I don't want to put my reputation, but I don't want to have a source, but I there is somebody in the Harper world that told me the Schwarber one. And we talked about that a while ago. Yeah. But I do think Schwarber and listen, him and Bryant are boys too. So
I might put reputations on Bryant being here because number one, for obviously the Harper thing, but he's exactly what we need. He's versatile. You know what I'm saying? He could fill three blocks. Obviously, he's not going to play three positions, but he could play center field or left field or third base. To where, like, it provides, like, oh, say, for example, they want to go into this coming year, oh, Bohm's our third baseman. Well, it provides insurance. If Bohm is a disaster again, oh, boom, pull.
Yep.
Pull.
It gives you flexibility.
Yeah.
And then, listen, you have a lot of things. I mean, we'll get into the Phillies in a little bit, but I'm not worried about Seager. Because I didn't think we were going to even be in the cards for.
I'll throw Chris Taylor in that list too, Tom.
Oh, Chris Taylor's a great name.
Yeah, another versatile name too. Like give me both of the Chris's and like give me somebody via trade. Oh, we're back.
Yeah, listen, I just want 1 million. I want 1 million fucking bats right now. Let everybody else go sign these pitchers that are going to wear out. I want 1 million fucking bats. I want 1 through 8 and 2 guys off my bench that absolutely rake the baseball, and I'll worry about the rest. I'm telling you, that's how you win. You ain't going to win. Everybody thinks, oh, you win because you go get fucking 1 million starters. That didn't win before for us, right? And it doesn't win for a lot of teams. Like, yeah, you need starting pitching, but you need to be able to rake. You need to be able to hit.
You need depth, too. Depth.
Yeah, you got to be deep. You got to hit. You got to swing it.
We should know this from this year. I can't deal with the friggin' the bench lineups. I can't be doing this.
No.
Umberto. No, I you're not wrong. Because listen, I know like the new thing in Philly is like, oh, everybody's gonna request a trade because that's just what we do. The last, with a star point guard and a star quarterback, but I wouldn't think too much into it, man. I wouldn't.
No.
I think anyone who's nervous about it, go back and watch the little video they put together with Darius and DeVonta.
Listen, man, you play sports. Not you, Umberto, just in people. You play sports. You lose a big game. There's emotion, man.
There was emotion in our Thanksgiving game, Tom.
Yeah, I mean, Jalen said the same thing after the game. He's like, "Did you see?" And he's like, "Listen, and we criticize Jalen Hurts a lot, but I mean, he was honest about it. Like,
I love his press conferences. I gotta admit, I love him.
He's honest, man. He's like, okay, Jalen's emotional too. Like, we all handle it differently. We all want to win. We want to win, and that's the facts of the matter. Nobody's coming on here saying Jalen Hurts wants to lose games when we're critical, right? Nobody's coming on here telling you Jalen Reagor wants to lose games when we're critical, right? Nobody's coming on here and saying that. Nobody's trying to lose games. These guys are fucking competitors. So when you lose a game like that, and a guy feels like he's wide open because he was
multiple times,
right? Then I understand his frustration. But the me to think he wants to walk out the door, I won't go there. I mean, he just got in the door.
And this is not the NBA, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, and he doesn't have the stature right now in this league to demand things. So listen, the one thing I will trust Howie Roseman and Jeffrey Lurie when it comes to actually two things. I usually trust their decision-making when it comes to head coaches, and I usually trust their decision-making. I say usually on both of these. Not all the time, but usually I trust their decision-makings when it comes to who's going to be their quarterback when they're trying to win. They're two things that I think that they do a decent job of. Decent.
Yeah, and I know people are probably typing, "Oh, well, Tom, you can't say that because you don't like Jalen Hurts. You don't like Jalen Hurts." Tom and I, but you've been really saying, because people have come at you since the draft has happened. You've been saying the same thing since draft night, that you didn't think they drafted him to be a starter.
Do we have that clip? Do we have that clip?
It's somewhere.
You know what? I'll go find it.
I tried last night. I
because I mean, listen. I mean, it just puts everything we said to bed, right? Like giving the people, we give people freaking a little 5-minute clip of just everything. Here it is.
What, the Jalen Hurts reaction clip?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant like the specific sound. Oh no, you have that. Yeah, we're good with that. You said you. What are you doing? Plugging her in?
No, I can't because it won't play through here unless I send it to you if you want to plug it in. I can pull it up on my screen. You know, I can do it right here. I don't know what.
Yeah, we're not gonna get hit for copyright because it's ours.
Darn, I forgot all about that. I can just go right to YouTube myself. Look at this. Hey, how are you?
Like and subscribe while you're there.
You're like, you're just gonna plug it in. I'm like, what's he saying? Like, I can't.
No, I meant like the phone cord. That way it comes to the phone.
Oh, I could have did that too. No, I didn't.
We're versatile. You know what I'm saying? We're like Chris Bryant. We're versatile. While you're doing that, I'll read the new GOAT, who was JJ Arcega-Whiteside's comment.
Oh, sorry.
You're fine. Not Reagor. His true heart is flipping burgers at McDonald's with me.
Oh my god. All right, you ready?
Yes, sir.
I'll be back later, I guess. Or they man.
Kate Robbins or Christian Fulton, please.
Probably neither.
I would love it. I would love it.
His reaction.
Baby. Here we go.
Oh my god!
Don't you go reaching again? Don't you reach again?
I just want 5 minutes of happiness, please. Just get 5 minutes. I didn't get him. Oh god, Pete left. Pete left. What?
I'm fucking done.
Why?
I'm done. I'm fucking done with this.
Why?
What? What is going on?
I cannot believe this shit, bro.
What
I
is
cannot
this?
believe this shit.
Hold on. Is this the trade?
Someone texted me literally
Are they
5 minutes ago with that, and I'm like,
are they drafting him to then deal
Just
him?
trade
Did they pick him for somebody? I'm confused. Did they pick him for somebody? Hold on. Did they pick him? I need to know if they picked Jalen Hurts or somebody else, or if this is their pick. Because if this is their pick, it's time for him to go. He can go today. Pack your bags now, Howie, if that's your pick. If that's your pick, pack your bags. Disgusting. You pocket protector, loser. That's
Chucks,
who you're picking.
Defend this shit, Chucks. Defend.
That's your GM now. That's everybody GM that they, oh, Howie ain't going to miss. Howie don't. Hey, this is Howie, guys.
Oh, Jalen fucking Hurts. We're the last
quarterback. I
stock
sat
in the
around.
NFL.
I had a talk for an hour and a half about I don't even know what we talked about. A bunch of positives we were hoping. An hour and a half. That better be something. It's not somebody else's pick. That's got to be
Tommy.
That's got to be somebody else's pick.
Oh no, Travis! Don't do this to me, Travis. Don't do that to me. Claiming a Taysom Hill role.
Oh my God.
No, that's
So
Greg
Doug,
Ward.
so Doug can't create his own-
Greg Ward. Greg Ward.
follow, be a follower behind everybody else now.
Oh, now Twitter's really laughing because not only did we get the friggin' the wrong wide receiver, now we got Carson's replacement.
Has to be a trade.
Bro, what are we?
Sorry, Sudfeld.
What has the Philadelphia Eagles turned into?
Hell.
So that's a reaction. Stand by it. Still don't. Listen, I speak from a guy who doesn't have a college team, so I always say, like, if I had one, it would be Alabama because that's what I watch the most of.
Same.
So I've seen plenty of Jalen Hurts' his game and didn't like it then, and it's all showing right now. I mean, on what he is, and that's a kid that you want to root for. You want him to be good, because of his qualities. But man, this looks bad. And moving forward, this organization won't sit back like we will. Like not like we will, but we will sit here and say, yeah, give him his junior year. Let's not go give away assets. Let's see if we can build around it a little bit, right? But to the other point, then you might be in the world of the Sam Darnolds, right? You might be in the world of some of these other quarterbacks where now you're like Denver and there's a different quarterback all the time because you have all these pieces, but you just can't get the quarterback, right? And then you're linked to all these quarterbacks in the offseason every year, right? And you just never can get it, right? That can easily happen quickly if you don't react immediately sometimes, right? So it's going to be very interesting to see how this season finishes out and find out what he is and what they think of him. Because I'm extremely interested to see how this offseason goes.
Name brand, and if I'm wrong, feel free to come back on it because I'll be very happy that I'm wrong for either one of these two. Wilson and Rodgers aren't coming here. Rodgers is either going to Miami, even though maybe not because maybe they have their quarterback now. Pittsburgh, Rodgers, Giants, Russell.
Mm-hmm.
Just makes too much sense.
Yeah, absolutely does.
And the 49ers would be smart to get rid of Trey Lance so they can get Rodgers, but I don't think they're going to do that. They're not coming here, guys. Like Tom said, middle-of-the-road veteran, or they're going to get antsy in the draft, or we're going to see another year of this.
Mm-hmm.
Which, again, fine, but you better hit everywhere else. Because imagine this, Tom, right? And this is the last thing I'll say before we go to national stuff, winners and losers. Just a little preview to keep everybody that's so excited for the offseason. So excited. And listen, so am I, because a lot of it's trades, a lot of it's the stuff that, it's fun. And we're finally going to have money. We're going to have a ton of picks. So, it's going to be fun talking about that stuff, projecting what it can be, what we would do, doing a better job than the GM and the owner. But just keep this in mind. If you go into this draft and you have another draft like you had similar to 2019 where you just miss, and you don't address a quarterback and you're going into next year with Hurts or a middle-of-the-road veteran and you don't cash in on some of these assets, we're looking at this season like it's friggin' child's play. Because we have a light at the tunnel right now, Tom. We have a light at the tunnel. We have assets coming forward. Those assets, we're not OKC. We don't have 75 first-round picks for the next 5 years. We have one offseason. And sure, we could trade away one for a future pick. Oh, that's fine. But this is the year where we can dig ourselves out. But all that goes away if you resort to what you've been the last 4 or 5 years, especially in the draft.
Yeah, I mean, you can see yourself out of it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You have the picks. I don't expect you to hit on all of them. I just can't expect anybody to do that. But you have the picks and the money. So it's what you do with this that's going to really it's really going to dictate your franchise for the next 5 to 7 years. And I think that's fair. I don't think that's going too far.
No, it's not. It's not an overreaction at all.
I mean, literally 5 to 7 years. Because say you miss on all 4 picks, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I use the second round pick because I have to, right? It just makes sense because it's a high pick.
Well, we see how important it is when you miss on second rounders like friggin' Whiteside and some other guys. So you're absolutely right.
Whiteside, Miles. I mean, the list goes on.
Jones.
Miles is a miss because you're not, he's always hurt. And then Sydney might have not been a miss if you kept him, but you didn't, and it's fine. But he was a miss when he was here, so that's all you can go off of. He was a miss when he was here.
Before Miles, who was the last? Who was the highest running back we drafted before that? Shady?
Probably Shady.
So, if we're comparing, we're not an organization that really goes high on running backs in drafts.
No, we haven't really necessarily needed to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because we've had guys who actually stay on the field.
We've actually had guys here for the most part.
Yeah.
Hold on 1 second.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Ted says, "Do you think Bill Parcells could come in here and turn the team around like he did with Miami?" I don't know, man. It starts with the quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Like we said at the open, I don't know how we could absolutely judge the current head coach and all the guys that we have here because they control their own destiny. But I got to see when you actually have a quarterback that can throw consistently over 30, 35 times a game. Umberto, would you guys say we need a young safety? Yes. Young linebacker? Yes. Multiple young linebackers. Young DN? Yes. The most on this upcoming draft. Umberto, we need a lot of stuff. Yes. But if you had to gun to my head, say, okay, there's 3 position groups you have to address first. Yeah, I would say those are the 3. Maybe cornerback, but I know Steven Nelson had that costly, pass interference call, but I think we would all agree, fam, he's been okay. He's been fine, especially given he was an extremely late signing that we got for, I think, $2 million guaranteed. So he's been far from a liability, especially in comparison to the past. So, if you're going into next season with, those 2, say you bring them back, and then you've, say, for example, maybe McPherson actually develops, and maybe you draft a cornerback in the second, that's fine. But you desperately need a safety because Rodney's done. Anthony Harris sucks. Epps is, the only guy who's really flashed for you. Avante's okay in the slot. He's very good. He's been okay. You got to catch that ball yesterday, though, Avante, but that's why you're a corner, not a wide receiver. And linebacker, I'm just sick and tired of this. TJ Edwards, yeah, he's a good piece, but he's not Ray Lewis. He's not Ray Lewis. Singleton's a special teams guy. Davion, yeah, he could play, but he's also got to stay healthy. Now we're going to start have a trend where this guy's getting banged up. You know what I mean? And I almost wonder, well, I don't want to do it. It's how we go to O-line because now you've got Jack Driscoll, he's out for the season again. He's another year where he's finishing the season on the IR. This is back-to-back years, I believe. So, is he going to get a little antsy and say, oh, well, Brandon Brooks is probably out of here. Jason Kelsey's out of here. Ciamalo coming back from injury. So is he going to go to O-line? So there's not going to be many positions where I'm going to say no because we need a lot of stuff. But to answer your question, Umberto, yeah, I would say those 3 kind of start.
Yeah, I don't think you can ever put offensive line out of the question.
I don't know if you heard this though, Tom, but because there was a rumor this past week, and he came up and he had a bad pass interference call in this game. But would you be overly upset if they brought back Steven Nelson?
No, I said it before. I would bring him back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and like I said,
I don't know how you don't.
No, you bring him back just for the very least depth, because he's not going to get the attention where he's a starter, because he would have been signed 3 months before we picked him up.
Yeah.
And he also hasn't had that flashy season where it's like, oh, it's a resurgence. National wise, Tom, who is your biggest loser of the week? We'll start loser since we lost.
Well, it's us. It's us.
Can't disagree with you.
You go in and you play. You play like that with everything in front of you, right? And you can't come out and do anything that you really want to do early on. It's almost like I don't want to say lethargic, because that's like not even the right word for it, right? It just looked like what it was, right? I mean, like this is a division game. This should be a game that you're ready to go. And I think they might have been, maybe at the quarterback position reading a little bit too much of their own headlines, right? Because this looked like a regression game, big time. And it starts with your quarterback, and it makes everything else look good or bad, right? Right. At the end of the day, it starts with your quarterback, and everything else is going to look good or bad, sort of based off of it. And here we are.
You're not wrong at all. I'll just throw something different in there. I will throw my biggest loser for actually multiple reasons now. I'll go Carolina. For one, because you just don't have a quarterback. Like you don't. Whether it's Sam, PJ, Cam, Teddy from last year, like you just don't have a quarterback. And you threw all these, assets into the basket for this year. Oh, you went out and got Stephon Gilmore. You got the cornerback, I believe it was CJ Henderson from Jacksonville. You threw in and you got some flashy pieces in the offseason. Now you have a situation where you're going in, you're essentially not all in because you still have a young roster, but you threw a lot of assets in because you're trying to win big this season. Like, you don't trade for Henderson and Stephon Gilmore and make all these moves. You don't trade a bunch of picks for Sam Darnold if you're not trying to win. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could have very easily taken the long route. You could have drafted Mac Jones, You know what I'm saying, in the draft, or you could have just kept Teddy Bridgewater and just gone into it next season or whatever. And I know they tried getting Deshaun and all that, but now you have a situation where you used a lot of assets for guys that I don't know if they're going to be able to help you long term. Cam can't play. Darnold can't play. Walker's he's just a guy. And now you have a situation where Christian McCaffrey, you're arguably your best player, another year where he's done. And I said, Tom, we talked about it over the summer, and we make fun of it because I'm looking to trade everybody. I begged Carolina. I said, you got to trade him now because there is still value.
Mm-hmm.
You can't touch him now. And if you trade him, it's for pennies. You could have put him in a deal where we're going to throw you Christian McCaffrey instead of a first-round pick for Deshaun Watson, or this and that. It's too late. It's too late. It's too late. It's too late. And I'm a McCaffrey guy, but I'm not saying he's done, but Jesus, this is another guy. It doesn't matter how versatile he is. He's never there. And if he's there, he's got 3 nagging injuries with the neck, shoulder, and foot.
Yeah, they're in a little bit of a tough situation.
Yeah, I feel bad because these guys are the guys I wanted the Eagles to sign, Matt Rule and Joe Brady, because I think they're very good if they have the right pieces. And you don't have a quarterback, and you don't have the guy who runs your entire offense.
Yeah, I mean, the quarterback situation, I don't know why you'd even go back to Cam. I mean, that just doesn't make sense to me. But listen, they were shooting for lightning in the bottle, and they didn't get it. The real Cam Newton stood up, and here they are. So they're in trouble. They're definitely one of those one of those losers this week. Pretty much the last 5 weeks, really.
They've been the loser ever since I picked them to make the playoffs as the 7th seed. I'll take the hit. I'll take the hit on that one.
My other one was my other loser was the Steelers. I mean, they go in a division game like that and get your doors blown off. Man, you guys are in bad shape. Ben's a shell of himself. I'm gonna feel bad for the guy because he's just not the same player anymore. And boy, is that that
You're
tough
gonna-
for Steelers fans.
You're gonna laugh at me. Because I'm saying this because I don't think the Steelers. This isn't breaking. I don't think they're going to win anything this year. Shocker. But I would do this year. That way, you just know you have an answer. So I heard Tomlin say yesterday that they're going to do whatever it takes to win at the quarterback position, and they're going to put whoever's in there who they think is going to win. We all know it's not Mason Rudolph. He's somehow worse than Big Ben. If I'm the Steelers, I'm not saying this week, I'm playing Dwayne Haskins. I have to see. I got to see if there's something, right?
Yeah, I mean, I still have that paper, but
he sucks. Listen,
I brought this up last night. I brought this up last night that I think he should play, even though I think he sucks.
Oh, did you? I didn't.
Yeah. So I mean, you're right in my wheelhouse. No, I mean, you got to see what you have, but not even that. You're trying to win games, and your quarterback's killing you. I mean, your offensive line's brutal too. So it's not just that. And they went running back in the first round, and I'm not saying it's coming back to bite them, but shit. I mean, if you can't block nobody, the running back don't matter.
Nope.
We're seeing that. Najee's a stud, but dude, there's
he's-
never a hole. I've
Yep.
watched a lot of Steelers football games from being on Sunday Night Football, Monday Night Football, etc. Because they're always big time nationally televised, right?
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen Najee have a clear hole this year. I feel like.
No, I watch him like a hawk because not that you don't have a love affair with him, Tom, but I think you and I were saying we would have taken him at freaking 10 or 12 or whatever pick we had last year. You know what I'm saying? Like if all the guys are gone.
If I had like a quarterback, I'll take him. I would take him one overall if I needed to. You know what I mean? If I had you want to have a good quarterback and a good defense and be drafted one overall, but
Mhm.
if I had those things, I would absolutely say, okay, let me plug him in.
Mhm.
There's a lot of good talent in this year's draft. That's why this year worries me.
Name brand, I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to spin it. Oh, well, if you're going to, we know what Big Ben is. We know he's not the future. We know he's done. Okay. We still have things to see with Hurts. Don't start with me, Nate Brand. I see what he's doing. Oh, we'll play the other guy just to see, Ryan. It does nothing for you. We traded a 6th rounder for him, guys.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't do a lot for me, but I mean, I don't know if I definitely disagree with see what he has.
Oh, I'm not throwing stuff at the TV, but I'm not like, see, I feel like this fan base is taking a 180. Now we're saying bench Jalen. Not you. And I'm not just saying name brand.
No, I mean, I think there's people out there that would.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm there, but if I'm, if he's not 100% and his feet are pretty important to his game, I don't know how that's going to go. Like, because if this dude comes in and plays, I'm telling you, right, he's going to throw for over 300, and then we're in this conversation. We're in this conversation real quick.
We'll have a quarterback controversy with Minshew and Hurts just in time for the holiday season.
Mm-hmm.
Who's your biggest winner of the week, Tom? I think you and I have the same thing because it's the right answer.
I don't even know who I had yesterday when I was talking about. I think it's the Patriots. Yeah, it's the Patriots. That's who I had.
Yep, and I'm upset because here we go again.
Another dynasty.
And they don't even have weapons.
Nope.
They just got guys. Bourne, Aguilar. By the way, people put some respect on Aguilar's name. People calling Jalen Reagor Regalar. Aguilar, hey, he was the number 2 receiver in the Super Bowl. All right, now. He might be like our second best receiver of the decade. Let's put some respect on his name, please. Now, he might still drop that pass. Both of them. Let's put some respect.
So this is Bobby says, if Hurts sits and Minshew goes out and throws for 300, who starts against Washington? Minshew probably.
Yep.
Ted, I agree with you to a point, right? Minshew isn't the future. I'm not telling you that he is. This season's all about giving Hurts a chance. It is, but you have a chance to get in the playoffs. I feel like then everything's on the table then. Right? Like, I just feel that way. Like, that's just how I operate. I got a chance to get in. I got a chance to get into the dance. And if I have to play this guy this week and he has a good game and plays well, it's almost hard not to go to him again.
If he throws for 300 yards and we blow the Jets out, now I'm talking playoffs again.
Yeah, he's talking playoffs again. Moore says, is Reagor getting cut after the season?
That's a good question because now we're not talking this season.
Cut? I don't know if he gets cut. You might trade him for a 6.
If he's getting cut, it's like roster bubble like we're Sidney Jonesing him, right? We're Fulghaming him.
I would say no because he's 22 years old. I would say that's how they look at it. That he's 22 years old and he's still really young and he's a first round pick. I would say no, they don't cut him.
Ted says no, we're trading Reagor to Houston next offseason. For what though, Ted? A couple deflated footballs?
Yeah. Ryan says Jalen gets every snap, the more tape to make a decision. I don't know, Ryan. I agree with you. But again, if I get a chance to get in there with Dance and one guy plays, we're just all talking off the one guy plays. If Jalen's healthy, I'd rather have him out there right now to see, right? But if he's not and the one guy plays well, then where are we at?
Thank you, Jeremiah. Thank you. Don't thank me. Thank you. As much as I don't like Reagor, don't confuse him with a first-round special teams guy. Total disrespect. Nagy stinks. Yeah, I mean, listen. I mean, I'm comparing like hot garbage to like suck. So really, like, what's the difference? I'm semanticing everybody to death. But I mean, I'm seeing too many nicknames. All right, like, what I'm saying, like this guy, we're past this. All right.
He's a guy. Jeremiah, thanks for a super chat, my brother. Colin says Hurts is our guy, man. Shake my head. What do you mean? He is. I mean, yeah, he's our guy this year. I mean, maybe our guy next year, maybe.
Colin, I feel like you got to be talking to the owner and GM because everyone's saying like, oh, we're getting impatient. No, we're patient compared to the two guys upstairs.
Yeah, but Colin, you can't just run the ball freaking 90 times a game. I agree with you.
We ran the ball for over 200, Colin.
What else do you want to do? You got to throw the ball enough. You got to throw the ball enough. Daniel Jones outplayed him yesterday, and what is that saying? They scored 13. What are we doing? Listen, I agree with the game plan because I'm trying to win games, right? In terms of winning the game, sure, I agree with you. But you still got, I mean, they threw it 31 times. Let's not act like they dropped back 50. In the first half, I thought they threw it too much. I made that clear. Yes. Ryan knows that. I said that. All right? I didn't like it. In the second half, they got sort of back to what they did. They should have pounded them early to open up the pass. That's got to be their MO. But they didn't go that route this week because they want to see a guy throw the ball around the yard a little bit. And he can't.
Above
so
that.
What are you going to do, Colin? What are you going to do every week? We got to, here we go. If we don't rush for 250, we lose.
Colin, it's above the coach. The owner thought, oh, the Giants are folding. Oh, we're going to throw all over them because, hey, we're feeling ourselves because we're going to win 3 straight games. And, oh, we've gotten it done running the ball. Now we're going to get it done against a 23rd ranked defense passing the ball. And then we're going to be the smartest people in the room. No, just win the football game. Just win the damn football game. We didn't take shots at you when you ran the ball 90 times the last 3 games. Just win the football game. Please.
No,
like
they didn't.
No, like Jeffrey, stop with like we're going to add little things. No, just win.
They tried to allow him to throw the ball a little bit early on. It didn't work out, and here we are. So, I mean, I don't know what else they want. Like, what else people want? Like, that's not the type of team. Like, if that's the type of team you want, fine. But then you're forced. If you don't rush it for 250, you lose. So Pat says, I really don't understand. I want to read this one. I really don't.
I clicked that. Yeah.
I really don't understand. We've seen Jalen in 16 games now, 12 this year. All those games, I've seen nothing from him throwing the ball stance to say, let's keep Hurts. You got fans praying he's a QB. And that's what it is, Pat. That's well said because it's more of a prayer. We're in a prayer service, so we don't have to go back to the well again. Right? And that's why I'm going to continue to throw out the name of like a Derek Carr continuously because I really could see that just because of the situation there now. Right? Just because of the situation. Everything's falling apart. Mayak loves picks. Right? Maybe they get some picks back.
Tom, I'll ask you this question, okay? And fam, don't take this seriously because this is an old A2D joke, okay? So if we get Derek Carr, Tom, can Mariota come too?
Yeah, bring him in.
Okay, all right, I'm good.
Yeah,
good.
Bring Chip back too.
I'm
Chip
good.
Baggins, offense coordinator.
Hey, listen. We dreamed all those times back in 2015 about the Mariota chip. Bring him in.
Yeah,
Bring him
remember,
in.
and everybody expected Mariota, me included, to be a stud, and he didn't work out for him. So
He's still got some in the tank.
yeah, he's still playing.
See that rushing touchdown?
Yeah, I saw it.
Look
I
fast.
saw it.
Look fast. He look healthy.
Yeah, it's like Maul. Like you can't do that constantly. Like you got to be able to throw it a little bit. And yesterday against a bad defense, they couldn't even throw it a little bit. I mean, think about that. It's not a good defense, and they couldn't even throw it a little bit. And you got guys wide open on different plays that we've seen and we rewatched, right? Of guys like wide open that are in your progression, right? That are like the Dallas Goedert, like it's right behind the other guy, like nobody's around him. How do you not see that? So not only are we talking anticipation, we're talking about seeing the field too, right? So it's not even about just like, okay, yeah, anticipate your throws, sure. But then to add on, you're not even seeing the whole field. I mean, on the Reagor ball to end the game, he couldn't stare that side of the field down anymore. Praying for something to come open.
What are you saying, Slim? It's crazy how 1 week completely changes our franchise. We all had such hope. Now it's all gone, and we were talking about draft and free agency. Listen, we hate it here. Yeah. Well documented. Just in time for the holiday season.
Yeah, it's perfect time. And then they'll go win next week, and everything will be back to where it was, and we'll be feeling like we can find the way in.
I want to gauge the room, right? To Slim's point, because I want to see how low we've fallen in the last 72 hours. Because again, this fan base was a little too confident. That's why Tom and I were, trying to calm everybody down on Wednesday, saying like, everyone's saying we're winning by 40. Let's just take the 7 points. Let's move on. Okay, we don't need to win by 40. Just win. Early look to this Sunday. What's everyone's percentage chance that we would actually lose to the Jets?
40.
I was going to say 45.
Right there. I mean, legit. There's always that chance.
Especially a hobbled Hurts. No Howard and Sanders.
Is there definitely no Howard?
Nick had his typical coach speak. Oh, they're progressing in the right way. That tells me they're doubtful. You know what I'm saying? Like, tell me you feel good about it, or if you don't tell me you feel good about it, and I'm not a doctor, but
oh my God, play Minshew. Everybody's saying, well, we got a lot of 50-50s in there. Bryce at 35. I mean, a lot of 50s. I don't disagree with the 50. I was thinking that, and then I was like, I'll go a little lower. 60% chance of winning. That's probably fair. But I wonder what, ESPN does, like the what do you call it? Let's see what it comes out to. 68%. So matchup predictor, 68% for the Eagles, 31% for the Jets. So not that that's the end all be all, but that's just some, some number. Jordan Howard probably out, right? Yeah.
If we have no Howard,
questionable already. Sanders and Hurts both questionable already,
and no Driscoll now.
And no Driscoll. Yep.
So Herbig's going to be a starter every week now, and we don't like any update on Kelsey.
No, he's not even on this list on here,
which could be a good thing, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's a knee. Like, I would imagine he plays because he was trying to play yesterday. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to be the guy on today or Wednesday picking him to lose, but I can't. That's what I'm saying, guy. Like, I can't even be like, oh, we'll be fine. It's the friggin' Jets. It's the Jets. And I don't think didn't Wilson get hurt? I feel like it's Flacco, Tom. I think it's Flacco.
Yeah. He's questionable, Wilson.
Flacco might friggin' light us up.
Hurts is questionable. Sanders questionable. So I don't know. We'll see. I don't think they lose though. I don't think they lose.
You know what I need? I need the Sixers to win big tonight, though.
Huh.
See all the people missing for the Magic tonight.
Oh, it's like the whole world.
It's the It's like what we had.
They need to get right game. They need to play together a little bit, right? They need all those things. So I think tonight's a really good night. That even if you don't win by 50, right? Like even if you just win by 10, like it's just a good night just to go win a basketball game. Because right now we just need wins, right? So I mean, just don't lose. Don't cough up a game. You should go win, right? I think that's really what I want tonight. I just want to feel a good game. Just want to feel a good game. You know, we need a win. We need a win.
We need something, Jesse.
We need something. But the Eagles are going to win Sunday, so nobody even worry about that. They're not going to lose that game.
I'll say this one thing real quick, Sixers wise. People got to freaking calm down. All right. And listen, am I happy about how that game against Minnesota transpired? No. Am I happy about what we've seen the last 3 weeks? Absolutely not. It's hell because the Sixers have been refuge for us until they get to the playoffs and they choke. But they've been refuge for us when things have gone bad for the Eagles. And I can't even. Another thing, I don't know what to do with my hands because, like, even when we lost during the road trip, like, I can't get mad because I'm like, oh, well, the team's like broken, and you've got an idiot sneaking behind closed doors practicing, and you've got a guy who's out for like 2 years with the big man. So, like, I can be mad, but I can't. So I don't know where to direct the anger. And then when you finally get pieces back, you're down 20 and you're still asleep, and then you come all the way back, and then you just search for a way to lose that game, against Minnesota. But Tom, I got messages from 3 people since that game telling me, quote, Maxey sucks. No, you suck. If you think that you suck. No, get out of my phone, please. Yeah, why? Because he got passive when the big man came back and because Doc Rivers didn't know how to format an offense?
No, I think what happened is he, like you said, I mean, Joel came back and then playing with the bias too. I feel like he just took a little bit of a less of a aggressive role instead of just being himself. And I think that's all he's got to do. And I think I can start tonight, right? He's just got to be himself. Just be aggressive. Don't be passive a little bit. I just think he was passive the last game out. So just play your game. And if he plays this game, he's going to be fine. So, yeah, I mean, the people saying he sucks, that's outlandish.
Like, it was his first quote-unquote bad game, but it wasn't even that bad of a game. It's like, I'm not trying to do like, oh, he's still a rookie, oh, he's still young. I'm not trying to do that, but it's a second-year player who averaged 14 minutes a game last year. If that. It was something around there. Now he's playing like 40-some minutes a night. He's the only guy that's been like relatively healthy this entire time. He's the only guy that's been keeping us afloat. And the first time he gets a little passive because, oh, sorry, the MVP candidate's back. So, God forbid, he takes a little bit of a step back. Like, where's the blame everywhere else? Like, where's the blame on the head coach? And I know you and I kind of went back and forth, and we were discussing that final play, Tom. And I honestly think the more I look at it, I think the play call was to draw the double team and pass it to Seth. I really, truly do.
Probably was, but I still hate it.
Oh, it was bad either way. We said it. The night up.
Catching the ball on the perimeter and expecting him to make good decisions when a double team comes. I mean, it's been a Achilles heel of his. So why am I going to put him in that situation?
You do 2 things. And I'm just a guy, so I'm not trying to say I know as much as Doc Rivers, but everybody in the country knew Joel Embiid was getting double teamed coming out of that timeout into that final possession. If you're giving Joel the ball, you do not give him the ball anywhere near the 3-point line. All you do, and Tom, if anything I say, at any part of it, cut me off. Tell me I'm wrong. At any point, if Joel gets the ball, you give it to him under the basket because Carl Anthony Towns is already out. He fouled out. Like 2 other guys fouled out to where nobody's going to be as big as him to where he's going to get the ball. And either he's going to come down with it and 9 out of 10 times he's going to make it. And that one time he's going to miss it, but he's going to get fouled. which you only needed 1 point there. You didn't need a 3. You didn't need a 2. You needed 1 point to tie, a 2 to win outright. If you're not calling it to Joe, then call it to someone else. Just give it to Seth right away or Maxey. Then people are gonna think you're gonna give it to Joe anyway. And either way, at no point should Joel Embiid touch the ball near the perimeter. At no point, especially with those limited seconds on the game clock.
Yeah, and I don't even know if he can get it in the post at that point because I just feel like they're gonna cater their defense to not allow him to catch it in the post too. So there's that side of it. It's hard to like do an inbound into the post, right? Because you're gonna get a lot of congestion, right? So I mean, you can put him in the post and then get something on the perimeter. The inbound come to the perimeter, and you make the decision if you want to go into him or not.
Yeah, you decide to make the shot. You either decide to go for the 3 or the long 2, or you pass it to Joel, and then you can do his thing. That's true.
Yeah, and then he has maybe 2.5 seconds to get a shot off. I mean, you know what I mean? So you're in a situation that you almost have to run the play to the perimeter anyway. I just don't run it to him. I let him eat up a double somewhere else, right? And make attention drawn to him. So I run him at the ball, and we don't go to him, right? And we go to somebody else on the perimeter. Now there's 2 guys on him. Now somebody's open, right? And that's just me sitting here, a little common sense on how I probably designed that play a little bit different there. But listen, that's neither here nor there. That's their. I'm not going to be critical of Joel Embiid turn the basketball over in that situation because one, he's done that plenty, but 2, it's like coming back into 3 weeks of what you went through. I feel like, and then you're in OT too.
Double OT.
Yeah, you're in double OT, and once you're fatigued, your mind sort of goes too. So, I'll factor that into it and give a cough up. But yeah, I don't run a play to him outside of being a distraction on the perimeter though. Like unless he's distracting, and drawing attention. That's the only thing I'm using him on the perimeter for.
Yeah, that's fair.
In terms of inbounds,
I just realized the Sixers are on. The other thing real quick, Phil's, I think you and I are still on the same case with it. And fam, I think Tom and I would both preface it by saying, like, we're not happy to see Scherzer, and I'm not so worried about the Marte thing because I don't love, if I was a Mets fan, which I'm clearly not, I don't love them giving a 33-year-old center fielder who they were saying 2 years ago can't play center field anymore, them giving him 4 years. Like, sure, it might suck for us and everybody going up against him like this season and maybe next.
Yeah.
But like, I'm not too worried about that. And like, yeah, Scherzer and DeGrom, that's not great. But we got to remember, this is Dave Dombrowski now. This is not Matt Klentak. And I'm not saying Dombrowski's above making mistakes. But like, can we let this play out a little bit before we start saying like, we're removing season tickets like some people are on Twitter?
Yeah, there's Twitter, right? We're back to Twitter. It's a place where I don't like to be because there's a lot of idiots. But,
fair point.
The Phillies have, you don't know what to think they're in on. And I understand people getting a little worried. The Mets just got a hell of a lot better with Marte and Scherzer. There's no denying that. They are a better baseball team than they were a year ago. All right, remember, they still got Lindor. I think year 2, he's going to be a little bit more calmed down. I think he gets back to a little bit more Francisco Lindor.
Mm-hmm.
All right. But they're good, dude. They're good. They just haven't all put it together, but they're 2 additions that can help you put it together. So what are we going to do? And I understand people getting a little bit hard to sit down, right? A little hard to sit down. You're pacing. I get it because we're used to not doing enough. This has to be a year they do enough, though, right? Yeah. As much as I don't agree with anything these people are jumping off the wagon right now, we're not even to December 1st yet. I don't buy into that. I let the market sort of play out a little bit, and then there's guys out there to make your baseball team a hell of a lot better.
I'll throw this name to you as well because I think the only team that is more upset than we are about Scherzer going to the Mets, I think, is the Nationals. Because if you look at them just in the short term, that really came back and bit them. Because it's like, I don't think they ever expected, oh my God, we're sending him out to the Dodgers. Oh, once he gets to the Dodgers, we'll never see him again. Oh, well, he's right back. He's right back in the division. And now they have to go against him.
Yeah. They're in a little bit more rebuild, so maybe not as big of a deal to them. But yeah, they do have to see him though.
Yeah. There's a name out there on their roster that has been rumored that they might try and ship out because he hasn't really been playing that well, pitching that well, that is. And this might be the time maybe we do it now that his value is really low. Would you entertain us later in the offseason trading for Patrick Corbin?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I guess. Like, I'm glad that you said later.
Okay.
I'm glad that you said later.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying like that's our headline.
December 1st, I would have smacked you.
Oh, no.
You're
Like,
saying anything wrong. Just the fact that like that better be not the first name I fucking hear.
Oh, yeah. No, that would be classic Phillies, like breaking move. Well, the thing today, everyone in the country thought, oh, Phillies made a move. No, we just designated Roman Quinn.
Yep.
Roster move. Oh, my God, it's Chris Bryant. Oh, no, Roman Quinn's still here? Oh, I thought we designated him like 3 years ago. He's still here.
Still going? Listen, it's a very interesting all season when you're talking about the Phillies because you have the World Series champions in your division and you have a Mets team that just said, okay, hi, World Series champ, we're coming to play too. And to me, I told you, I go out and I get a lot of bats. I get bat heavy. And then I try to address my bullpen the best I can, right? Like, I get really bat heavy because, like, no matter what, I feel like those guys are going to play 150, right? Pitcher's got a really good chance of getting hurt.
Hi, Ralph.
Those guys have a chance to play 150. So essentially, I get more production from those guys in a way, right? In a way, I have a better chance to, I would say.
Yes.
So I'd rather have a strong 1 through 8 and go try to outmatch you. I want to out hit everybody, and I have the type of lineup that has the makings of being able to do that. I'm just missing a couple pieces. And, I think a Bryant and Scherzer, a Bryant and Schwarber, a Bryant and Castellanos. Go get cute. Go get Castellanos and Bryant. You want people to really talk about you? You want people to really fucking talk about you? Go get all 3 of them then. You know he's playing center field? Go get all 3 of them.
Yeah. Well, say, for example, I'll go back to the Chris Taylor name, okay? Not that, and I'm not saying he should be a headliner. Oh, yeah. Oh, no, you could get him because I think he's a lower name guy. So you get him and say he's your opening day shortstop. And I know what everyone's saying. Well, Ryan, what about Didi? What about Stott? Would you then do this? Your follow-up move, you get Taylor, you put him at short. You trade Segura, the thing that's floating out there, Segura for Kimbrel because they both have 1-year deals left. And the White Sox, they're desperate for a second baseman. So you trade Segura for Kimbrel, and then you move Stott to second.
Yeah, you could do that. I don't love moving a kid's position.
Yeah, because then we're kingering him.
That early on. You could do that. But I don't think you even have to get that. I don't think you even have to get that creative, really. If you want to be honest with you, I just think that it's right out there. Go get Brian and go from there, right? Go get Brian and then address left field and maybe address the because Brian can play center if you need him to. Yeah. So you could put Brian in center. You could keep Bowman third, right, and see what he has, and you can get Castellanos for left or Schwarber. Preferably Castellanos, and if I'm going that way, and go spend a lot of fucking money, and then say, look at my lineup. Who wants to come swing it with me? Right? I might not be the greatest defensive team in the world, but I'm going to fucking mash it. And your outfield would be good. I don't know how good defensively your infield's going to be. That's going to really be determined by how Alec plays. You know what I mean? But then worst case, maybe I bring a guy like Torreyes back that can play a little third in a pinch. Yeah. But I don't know. There's things you can do. That maybe that's where Chris Taylor comes into play. Mm-hmm. Where he he signed here, you give him a good amount of money, but he's almost going to do what he did with the Dodgers in a way. He's getting paid a little bit better.
Keys, last thing before we go to member wheel. Keys, I think so, but I think we're getting a lot of stuff because I think we're getting a strike. I think that's what we're really getting. You agree with that, right, Tom? You think there's going to be a strike?
I don't know. I don't think so. I think I think that a lot of professional sports have tried to learn from that lesson of not letting that happen. You know what I mean? But baseball can't get out of their own way sometimes, so I wouldn't put it past it. Not trying
I
to
see how they handled things when we were trying to get back to resume and play after the quarantine. Just nobody can get out of their own way.
Yeah, that's what they do.
And that was almost like a mini strike in a way. Yeah, Don, we've been looking for bullpen since like 2011. Why? You have somebody? You got some guys over on the Tigers?
They got some good young players, I'll tell you that.
Well, he was saying earlier, saying he's waiting for Correa to go there.
Wouldn't surprise me. I don't know what anybody would want to go to Detroit for, but yeah.
Must be paying him a boatload.
Hold on.
By the way, Danny Green back in the starting five.
Yeah, wasn't he though?
Not for a majority of the road trip. I know he was coming off the bench because he was still on that minutes restriction.
Yeah.
So I think Matisse played. I think Matisse was our starter against Minnesota. Because everyone was like, "Oh my God, starter Matisse! Yes, this is what we want."
Yeah,
And he got exposed defensively, Mr. Matisse Thybulle. And meanwhile, the Magic are running Twin Towers offense with Bamba and Wendell Carter.
Yeah, you got guys that are just throwing guys out there. Just throwing dudes out there.
Doing the mini Embiid Drummond lineup.
Sorry, I was just trying to look for some free agents.
I was looking at them earlier. The list sucks. It's very top heavy. Oh, Danny Green shot blocked. I have the list here if you want me to run through it.
Yeah, you can run through it.
Just made a liar out of me now. I can't find the list. Oh, here it is. MLB free agents position by position. Is there a certain position you want me to start at, Tom?
No. Just, outfield, preferably.
Okay. Left fielder, Schwarber, Eddie Rosario, Tommy Pham, McCutchen, Dickerson, Jock Peterson, Clint Frazier, Jason Martin, Gerardo Parra.
That's enough.
Yeah, I was going to say, and then old man John Jay. Center fielders, Chris Taylor, Brett Gardner. No. Kevin Pillar, Herrera.
That's enough. Not enough.
Right fielders, Conforto, Castellanos, Soler, Goodwin, Dexter Fowler.
Yeah, I'm good. Okay. I mean, Castellanos will have to play left if we went and got him. So,
want me to hit you with some shortstops?
yeah. I mean, Seager gone. So, what we got? We got Turner.
Correa.
Yep.
Story.
Mm-hmm.
Baez.
Mm-hmm.
Iglesias.
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty much it. Then you go down to Galvis,
Yeah, I'm good.
Andrelton, Simmons, Kozma, Marrero, and Romine.
I'm good.
Yeah, and the third base real quick, just for the hell of it. Kyle Seager.
Who?
Corey Seager's brother.
I didn't hear you because you cut out.
Oh, Kyle Seager. Kyle.
Okay, Kyle Seager.
Chris Bryant, Jonathan Villar, Matt Duffy, Mike Franco. Can I stop?
I'm good.
Can I stop? Can I stop reading?
Yeah, we're good. Stop right where we're at.
So, trade. Higher name guy or trade?
Oh, I mean, you got positions that you need. There's guys there, right?
Yep.
Bryant, Castellanos, Schwarber.
No, he's not picky. He's not Detroit.
Chris Taylor. Come on, Don. You know me. I mean, there's 4 names that I want, and figure out where they play.
Don, I'm sorry.
Figure out what you do with it.
I said that too quick, Don. I'm sorry. I said that.
Figure out what you do with it. Maxi for 3, that baby. But figure out what you do with it, right? You know what I mean? That's it.
Yeah.
Those 4 guys figure out what you do with it.
Mhm.
You want to talk about World Series? Let's talk about playoffs first. Right there.
Let's talk about playoffs.
Right there. If I got those 4 names, I'm obviously arguably a World Series favorite in the NL.
Oh God, Joe.
He's fine.
You see his knee?
Yeah. See, I try not
Did
to
he
look.
pick another 3?
Tobias
Oh, that
did.
was Tobias. Okay. Oh, he turned. I thought it was
10-2. This is what we're looking for, huh? This is what we were looking for.
another
Little
break.
fucking roll job.
You want to?
You don't deserve to be on the same court as us. We're just going to get you out of here. Tobias, let's go. Good time out. 12-2 Sixers. Let's go.
I wish he did that more instead of just the little palm,
Yeah.
palm handle. Nobody wants that.
Helps them know we play defense.
You want to do member real quick before sports sounds?
Yeah.
Ralphie, are you here?
All A2D members. We spin the wheel once a week for you here for a free jersey. Little giveaway. Today is the big fella, Joel Embiid. So spin her away, Ralphie.
Best O-line on A2D, by the way.
Yeah, guy's a tremendous competitor. Rose wins her. Okay, Rose.
Oh, Rose, okay.
All right, Rose.
Always on the Instagram and Facebooks.
Yeah, I know Rose, so I'll message her.
Awesome.
Good job, Rose. Rose, a big Sixers fan. All right, good. Go on the people who love them.
See,
Go on the people who send them. You know what I mean? It's like it's like you got to get rid of the dog. Like I just want to make sure I send them to somebody that's going to love them.
Yeah.
And you already wanted Embiid, jerk off.
I'm just happy Bill didn't win again.
No, Bill would have won again. I just would have stopped everything.
Yeah, we would have discontinued the member wheel.
Yep, we're gonna call quits on the wheel.
We're just gonna discontinue it until next season.
That was our last wheel.
Yeah.
So you become a member, $9.99 a month, gets you in that, right? Also get you all the picks from Nate and Willie Vegas. So you get all that stuff. You get discount A2D merch. You get everything. Go become a member. Pin right in our comment section over on YouTube. Make sure you get into this fucking wheel every week too. Giving shit away to you jerk offs. The holiday season, we might be just doing Venmos. Might be spinning the wheel for Venmos twice a week.
That's all I ask for every Christmas. Just give me money. Just give me money.
Wow, a little $10 piece.
Asia. Thank you.
Hey guys, I don't know if you do baseball, but did you see NL Rivals just signed today? Are you Phillies going to do something before the Mets sign everybody?
Asia. Yeah, Asia. I think you probably just tuned in. You probably missed it by 35 seconds. Go back and rewind. We talked for about 15, 20 on all that and some during the show. Yes, we do also.
And we know, and we see him getting better, and we're just waiting for our answer. What's our answer going to be? That's what we're waiting for, Asia. Well, we appreciate all you guys who super chat and just comment in. Can't thank you enough.
Yeah, definitely.
You get the Sports Hounds coming up here at 7:30, followed by our boys on the Flight Zone at 9:30. So a lot of Eagles, a lot of Sixers. Got all that coverage coming your way too tonight. Going to continue to bring it your way, peeps. It's what we do. Continue to bring you great content. Rye, you got anything else? You want to get out of here?
No, I'm good. I feel weird not doing a show together on Wednesday, though. I will say that.
Yeah, I think it's this Wednesday too. I think that's
first.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I got to confirm that one, but yeah, it could be strange.
It's like this. It's like the scene in Fast and Furious, parting ways. You know what I'm saying?
Cars. Yep.
No, Mr. Wing, Bill didn't win.
No, Rose wins or won.
Yeah.
Mr. Wing.
No, Don, we've got for a couple months because Tom's schedule. We're gonna have 2 on Wednesdays. We're gonna have me with the 3 characters, Noah, Frank, and Ralphie around like 8 to 9, something like that. And then we're gonna have Tom, Greg, Nate, maybe a couple other faces, little couple guests every once in a while on right after us.
Yeah. So we'll have a good split up, right? A good split up. those things don't have, those words don't come into play too often. So we're having one just for the sake of the team, just because of my schedule. So
Yeah.
we're just
Don't worry, fam. This show's not going anywhere. You know what I'm saying?
no, nothing's going anywhere. If anything, stuff's added. So enjoy Noah. Enjoy Noah for 2 hours, fam.
Fam, I'll give you a little teaser. Noah sent me a video. First time he's ever done this on the beach before the. I'll do it now because who am I? I'm gonna do it. I'll show it to you guys now since you guys are here. And Tom didn't see this yet.
Yeah,
before he sent it to you.
Yeah, and I sent him your numbers and said to send it to you guys because I think he was. I don't know what he was. I don't know what he was getting at, but
So he sent like this on-site like professional report from the beach as like a preview for the Eagles game.
Mhm.
And he sent it to me blurry and he was sideways and he couldn't figure out how to get the camera to turn off.
Yep.
So this was it, fam. We'll leave you with this. This was Noah's on-site report before the Eagles broke all of our hearts.
Noah here for A2D Radio. It's game day. Less than an hour till kickoff when the Eagles travel up to the Meadowlands to take on the New York Giants. So, do the Eagles keep the good times rolling, or will they watch their playoff hopes wash out to sea?
They're watching, try and figure out the. Oh, how clever, Noah! We couldn't see that there was an ocean behind you.
Yeah, great drop, great drop it.
Oh,
Yeah, the Sixers game's over.
yeah, you can just sit Joel now. Put in Bassey. Ooh. Oh, yeah, he stinks, right? He stinks, right, Tom?
So
Maxie's terrible. Wendell Carter bricks. Do it again, Max. Do it again. You've got open. No. Will no, Bri. He doesn't have the flip phone.
No, he's grown, but he sent it to me, and I was like, "We'll send it to the guys that posted up for you." And he's like, "I don't have anybody's number." I'm like, "How do you not have anybody's number?" I was like, "Okay."
He sent it to me, right? And it got to me in the third quarter. Because you know how like everything he sends, it like takes forever apparently.
Yeah.
Got to me in the third quarter. I'm like, no, what do you want me to do with this?
Mm-hmm. So, hold on 1 second before we get out of here. But yeah, tough Eagles loss, obviously. Sixers getting it right tonight, getting in the right direction would be glorious.
Thank you, Asia. Another super chat. I'm sorry for your Eagles, but beating them was my Super Bowl because we ain't getting that again. So I'm guessing you're a Giants fan, Asia. Well, good stuff. Good stuff.
Sorry. Uh, 46.5. Sorry, I'm just getting these lines right.
Oh, I couldn't tell if you were betting or if you were setting lineups. I couldn't
make a combo. I just wanted to get things done. I'm sorry. Asia. Good win. Good win.
Oh my God, look at you guys.
Look at Keys.
He says we can't end with a Giants fan. Thanks, guys.
Look at that. Look at the top. Keys, that's a great job out of you. We appreciate you too. That's a great fucking job out of you. Okay, you're right. It's like making the swish before you go inside. You're playing a little basketball outside. You got to make your swish before you go in. Yep. Bad luck if you don't. Bad luck. Listen, guys, we can't thank you guys all enough for listening and joining us tonight and getting it all out there, clearing the air. We love yous. Stay tuned for the Sports Hounds coming up at 7:30, and then the boys on the Flight Zone at 9:30. Lock in. Hit the like. Hit the subscribe. And every Monday, we're brought to you by FanUp. And FanUp is the best way to enjoy fantasy sports, daily NFL contests, and more. Sign up today. Use promo code A2D. Get yourself 5,000 bonus points. It's a $50 value. FanUp.app, right on the Apple Store. Go download them. Go enjoy it. No salary cap. You can get your lineups in for the night. Go test it out. See how you like it. You come back and tell me. You come back and tell me how you like it. That's Ryan Brodo. I'm Tom Arnone. Keys, that's a great job out of you. We out of here.